Shall we start? Right, fine. Okay, so we'll take some examples first on what you call single displacement. Examples on single displacement. And you know what is single displacement? Higher reactive element will be displacing a lower reactive metal. Okay, higher reactive will displace a lower reactive. Single displacement is all about what is your grip on the reactivity series. The more grip you have on reactivity series. So I'm not going by the the one equation which will be very common would be again zinc as solid reacts with copper sulfate, which is aqueous, will give you zinc sulfate and plus oxygen, plus copper. Revise this reaction as much as possible wherever you see it for all notes and everything, because the majority of the questions are on this reaction, right? And the reverse of this reaction is not possible. Okay, a similar type of another reaction is copper chloride, CuCl2, okay, and it reacts with lead. Lead is in solid, this will be aqueous. So single displacement, by now you know lead is more reactive. Please stop calling me a zebra, instead try learning. So learning, so it will form PbCl2 and release copper solid. So keep this reaction also. You need not remember, see, they will give you all these questions and they will ask questions based on this. Now this will be greenish in color, this will be greenish and lead, and this will be colorless. So some question they might ask you based on color. This will be colorless. Copper obviously is red brown, and this is having bluish gray. Yeah. So question need not be only for single displacement. Question can also be based on color. Okay, predict this reaction. AgNO3, what should be the product? किताब में देखिए, खुद सोचिए. Tell me, AgNO3. Ag stands for silver. Silver NO3 is a nitrate anion. So this will be silver nitrate. Okay, silver. Silver is not reactive. That's why we make jewelries out of silver, right? Silver will be very down the bottom. So this will be reacting with. Now you would always say copper is somebody who is always a loser. Copper के girlfriend को हर कोई ले जाता है. Now this time copper will steal somebody's girlfriend. Okay, so chalo. So what was the product you expect? Copper nitrate. Now predict the formula of copper nitrate. How will you predict? Don't look at book. NO3. First you look at NO3. NO3 comes from nitric acid. So let's dissociate nitric acid. Nitric acid is HNO3. It will dissociate to form an H plus and NO3 minus. So NO3 is carrying minus on its head, and it is going to marry copper now. Copper carries a +2. So NO3 will come with 2, whole 2. Very good. So NO3 will come with whole 2. This is copper nitrate and will release silver as solid. This is called copper nitrate or copper 2 nitrate. Then all reactions of metal plus say hydrochloric acid, what will you get? Metal chloride plus hydrogen. This can also qualify for hydrogen test. Metal chloride and give you hydrogen gas. Calcium, magnesium. There is one reaction which we will be actually studying in metals and non-metals. I'm just going ahead and okay, you want me to read? Okay, sure. This reaction we will be studying, the one I'm going to write, we will be studying as a part of metals and non-metals chapter. Okay. But थोड़ा सा knowledge यहाँ भी दे देता हूँ. Take it. Fe2O3. Fe2O3. Let's predict. It's iron oxide. This is iron oxide, no doubt about it. But we should also predict what is the state of iron. Oxygen is -2. So a -2 multiplied by a 3 gives you -6. So you should have -6 divided by 2. So this is +3. So this is iron 3 oxide. So it will be known as ferric oxide. Ferric is trivial name. We always use something called IUPAC names. IUPAC stands for International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So you are not allowed to use, these are trivial names, ferrous. But one name by which it will be internationally known as iron 3 oxide. Okay? Iron 3 oxide reacts with aluminium. Okay, it will react with aluminium. So 2 aluminium gives you Al2O3 and release iron. Now, why I said we will be studying this in what you call metals and non-metals. This is a reaction which this is L. Mind you, L. Can you imagine? L. Iron in liquid form. When railway tracks crack, you can't open the railway track and take it away to your workshop. You have to weld the railway track then and there itself. So we call that process as in situ welding. In situ. In situ is a English term which will be in always. In situ is a word we say. In law, they use this word a lot. IN-SITU. In situ means right at that spot we will weld it. That welding is known as aluminothermic welding. This is the process which we will read in metals and non-metals. It is a highly exothermic reaction. You can see YouTube videos. They will bring iron 3 oxide, aluminium. Initially, they need some heat. That heat will be provided by magnesium's burning because magnesium releases a lot of heat. After that, the heat that will be generated will produce liquid iron. And this liquid iron is made to flow in that crack of that railway track and fill it up. This is highly, and this is known to human from very old ages. You must have studied like Bronze Age civilization and all. Like cannons, tanks which you have in warfare today. Cannons came with the Ottomans. Mahmud, not even Babur, Mahmud. Have you heard the story of Constantinople? Constantinople is, the walls of Constantinople were considered to be very, very strong. Constantinople's walls will never fall. And that was the last time Constantinople was the king. And Mahmud actually, they say, there's a lovely documentary series on Netflix you can watch. The Ottoman empires, then they attacked so many times. This is present day Turkey. At that time, they used cannons for the first time. And the walls of Constantinople fell. And it was captured. Okay, chalo, aage badhte hain. Now we study about double displacement reactions. Though in your book, both are studied together. Double displacement reactions, and all the single displacement reactions that we wrote, we will take them up again when we study oxidation reduction. So double displacement reactions, here there will be always two compounds A and B who will react with each other, two compounds, and there will be exchange of ions. There will be an exchange of ions. So one compound will dissociate. Say A will have A1, A2, B will have B1, B2. So A1 will merge with B1, A2 will merge with B2. So let's take one example. Silver nitrate, AgNO3. Always you will have two salts which will be actually fighting with each other with sodium chloride. Now this is aqueous, this is also aqueous. Now ask yourself, silver nitrate will always dissociate with silver ions and nitrate ions, and sodium chloride will have sodium ions and chloride ions, not chlorine, chloride ions. So if you look at this fellow will be having an Ag plus and a NO3 minus, and this fellow would be having a Na plus and Cl minus. So this fellow will pair with this fellow, and these two will pair. Shall we take it up now? So it will be silver chloride, AgCl, and sodium nitrate. Sodium nitrate will be NaNO3 2 or NaNO3? Just NaNO3. Why? Sodium is group 1, 1 plus. To become 0, it needs 1 minus. This fellow is already coming with 1 minus. So happily the product will be formed. Both are again salts. Aqueous, aqueous.
Silver chloride is a precipitate.
Precipitate. Sorry. So you should write it as solid. Sorry. You're correct. Silver chloride is always a precipitate. So it will be coming out as a solid. But it's a salt. And one more example which is very common is barium chloride reacting with sodium sulfate. Now look at sodium sulfate, right? Let's try to predict sodium sulfate. Sulfate comes from sulfuric acid. H2SO4 will always dissociate 2H plus. So SO4 will be 2 minus. SO4 is 2 minus, but sodium is 1 plus. Therefore, this is not correct. SO4 is 2 minus, sodium is 1 plus, so it should be Na2SO4. So now it will be barium will pair with sulfate. Now look at barium. Chlorine is 1 minus, so this is 2 minus, so barium is plus 2. Plus 2 and sulfate is minus 2. Happy. Barium sulfate is also a precipitate.
Yes.
And it will form NaCl. White precipitate. This is also solid. Yeah. This salt is soluble. Barium chloride is soluble. Barium sulfate is not soluble. Barium sulfate will always be a precipitate.
Sir,
Yes.
2NaCl.
Which one? Yeah, 2NaCl. 2NaCl. Okay, let's take one more before we go to. Let's take one more. Can I go ahead? Okay. Aluminium chloride. Try to write. Aluminium chloride. Aluminium is from group 3, so it will be always plus 3. Chlorine will come AlCl3. Aluminium chloride reacts with ammonium hydroxide. It's a strong base. Ammonium hydroxide is so strong that if you even make it, if a what you call painted snake also smells it. That's why if a person has collapsed and you're trying to get his collapse, say suppose, and you're still not sure whether life is there or not, ammonium hydroxide, they will put in some handkerchief and make. Ammonium hydroxide means you will at least open your eyes. Even if that you're not opening your eyes, chances are that you are no more. Okay? सांप भी उठ जाग जाता है इससे. Ammonium hydroxide. Ammonia is NH3. Ammonium is NH4. Children, try to listen. See, ammonia is NH3. It takes one more hydrogen ion, so it becomes NH4 positive. This is ammonium ion. Ammonium, the only non-metallic cation. Ammonium hydroxide. All hydroxides will have a OH minus. So ammonium hydroxide is NH4 OH. Is the logic understood? अब react कराओ इसके साथ. Double displacement. So it will form aluminium hydroxide. Now look at aluminium hydroxide. Aluminium is always Al3 plus. Hydroxide is OH minus. So how will the settlement be? Aluminium is 3 plus, OH is minus, so just bring it. Yes, Al, OH, 3. And on the other side you will have ammonium chloride. Ammonium is NH4, chlorine is Cl, so it just forms NH4Cl. All aqueous. Aluminium hydroxide is a precipitate. You can balance this. 3 and 3. 3 on this side and 3 on this side. Aluminium hydroxide. It is used as a base.
NH4.
No. NH4Cl will be readily dissolved. Aluminium hydroxide. Yeah, it is a base. I didn't say that this is an alkali. Alkalis are base which dissolve. Aluminium hydroxide is present in Digene. Have you seen? After how you might have heard about, like in Bengali houses, it is very common. You eat little bit more of biryani. That's why she was nodding her head. You eat biryani and everything, and then people will say, "Zada khana ho gaya." Okay, have some Digene. Yes, very common. Digene is a digestive enzyme medicine. Every time you have to have that medicine is written shake before having it, because ye niche baitha rahega. So aluminum hydroxide being a base, it will immediately attack all the acid that is present in your, or say after an age, like now I suffer with this. If you take me for breakfast to chutneys, I will first have little bit of antacid, because any fermented food that I have, like idlis and all, I love them. So mujhe acidity ho jati hai. That means my stomach is more acidic. So what do? Before eating, half an hour before that, I'll have this. So the lining of my stomach becomes basic. Now you give me coconut chutney and everything, no problems. That's why we say eat on time and eat properly. Otherwise, you'll have these issues. Right, fine. Rest when we revise it later on, we will see. So are we set? We come to oxidation and reduction. So what all did you learn so far? Combination reactions, decomposition reactions, displacement is in two, single, double. Now, Q single, double we did, redox will tell you that story. Are we set for redox? And redox is something, please pay attention. First, I will tell you how your book teaches, but with your book, whether it is Lakshmi Singh also, aapko driving won't be that easy. Shall we? Okay. So our next category in grade 10, 11, this is a chapter. Oxidation. Yes. Oxidation, reduction, reactions. They are known as red ox, where red stands for reduction and ox stands for oxidation. The first thing, these reactions always happen simultaneously and together. If there is human being, there is ghost. And if there is ghost, there is human being. Alone reduction cannot happen. Alone oxidation cannot happen. Jodi mein hota hai, in pair. In this, and you will say, sir, where does it happen? In the same reaction. Our job will be to identify which is the oxidation reaction, which is the and blah 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 blah. Okay, so let's target this on one side and understand a concept called oxidation number or oxidation state. Not a grade 10 topic, a grade 11 topic, but it will make you understand easily. Clear? In simple sense, look at a metal or a non-metal. If you are a metal, if I am a metal will always have a tendency to form Mn plus and lose n number of electrons. Agreed? And if I am a non-metal, say I am N, I will actually attract n number of electrons and I will take a n negative charge on me. Is this understood? Right? ये कुछ नहीं लिखा है, बाकी सब ठीक. हाँ, पढ़ लो एक बार. Once you read it, बाकी सब ठीक. बस चल रहा है. And there are 3 cartoons. Yeah, I was wearing this the day I went to the OT also. So the guy was also saying, yeah, very nice. I said, yes, you should smile. अभी चलें इसमें? हाँ, good. N plus, okay. And the brand is Bewakoof. Yeah, if you want. Okay. Now let's concentrate here. Very important. Oxidation. So how to understand? You have to identify the oxidation state of an element as it is present in a compound. As it is present in a compound. Let's take a compound like say CO2. Very easy. Whenever you have a compound, the overall charge on it is neutral. Okay, pay utmost attention here. Because if you understand this, all reactions will be easy for you. Overall charge is neutral. But participating elements actually are not neutral. Who is participating? Oxygen is participating. Oxygen is a non-metal. And this you should develop. Oxygen has 6 electrons in its outermost shell. Oxygen will always have a tendency to rob 2 electrons. So oxygen will always take 2 minus on its head. That's what you did so many days. How many oxygens out here? 2 oxygens. So how many total minuses? 4 minuses, which have been contributed by whom? Oxygen. So carbon must come here with +4. Only then it will be 0. So I say the oxidation state of carbon here is +4 with the sign +4. Have you understood? Okay. Let's take another product. NaCl. Oxidation state of chlorine is minus. This you should know. Chlorine is in group 17. So 287. Definitely sodium will be +1. So children, what is the oxidation state of chlorine? -1. What is the oxidation state of sodium? +1. Let's make life a little bit more complicated. Potassium permanganate, KMNO4. KMNO4. Right? What is the oxidation state of oxygen? -2. So how much is oxygen contributing? -8. Potassium belongs to the first family, first group. Lithium, sodium, potassium. So potassium is +1. Can you now say what will be manganese? +7. Only then it will be 0. So the oxidation state of manganese is +7. समझ में आ रहा है? एक और चेक करते हैं. Clear so far? Let's take sulfuric acid. H2SO4. Hydrogen is +1. So we are getting +2 from hydrogen. So oxygen is -2. So we are getting -8. So sulfur must be coming here with how much? +6. Understood? That does not mean sulfur's oxidation state is +6. Look at another product called sulfur dioxide, SO2. Here oxygen is how much? -2. So -4. Here sulfur is coming with an oxidation states can change based on what you are forming. So let's see SO3, sulfur trioxide. Here you are having -6. This will be +6. देखो sulfur +6 में भी आता है. Sulfur comes as +4 also. Have you got a fair bit of idea what is oxidation state? Given a compound, there will be 1 or 2 elements whose oxidation state you will know. And the balancing one you can find out. If you cannot, we will try together. Is this understood? Okay. If you have understood oxidation state, then one thing we have understood that the oxidation state or the oxidation number can be either positive or negative. Understood? Can be either positive or negative because in chlorine it is -1. This follows the algebra law. So if I say that oxidation state has increased, that means the overall value has to increase. Now what is increase? +1 to +2 is increase. 0 to +1 is increase. -2 to -1 is increase. Just mathematics. -1 to 0 will also be considered as an increase. What are decrease? 3 to 2 is decrease. 2 to 1 is decrease. 1 to 0 is decrease. 0 to -1 is decrease. -1 to -2 is also known as a decrease. Now you have understood what is it. Just follow algebra, number line. Okay? So I'm going one slide more. And now I come back to one matrix I will be making. Okay? Thoda sa, first pay attention how I am doing it, and then you will become a master of this. I'm making a matrix, and in this matrix, okay, just follow what I'm doing. This is parameter. This is oxidation. This is reduction. Okay? Must be in many schools this is already taught. So you know half of it and half I'll try to reinforce. आराम आराम से, धीरे धीरे. The first parameter we will go by what is in your syllabus. Oxidation. I got oxidized, means oxygen was added to me. So my first parameter would be with on the basis of oxygen. If you see that oxygen has been added to something, then that something has undergone oxidation. Understood? And if you think oxygen has been removed from something, then that something has undergone reduction. Oxidation, oxidized silver. वो ज्वेलरी पहनते हैं ना हम लोग, oxidized silver. Oxygen's addition is called oxidation. So oxygen's removal will be called reduction. Aram se, we will give. Now you just see the slab first. These will all be tough. We will. Our main things are here. This is what is in your syllabus. Okay. Oxygen's exactly counter item will be hydrogen. Hydrogen is like just the opposite of. If one is sweet, the other is bitter. So if oxygen's addition is oxidation, then hydrogen's addition will be reduction. Hydrogen और oxygen just opposite होते हैं. And similarly, hydrogen's removal will be considered as oxidation. This is how your book teaches you, whether you follow NCERT or whatever, or your school. Like now we will open our AK-47. Our AK-47 will give us all correct answers. Have you understood this? Now let's see our AK-47. Our AK-47 is oxidation state. Simple. An increase in oxidation state is oxidation. That means a reduction in oxidation state is reduction. Have we understood? This is our AK-47. Now, in order to cork that AK-47, you have to insert one magazine also. This itself will kill. This itself will kill all reactions. Still, if you think your bad luck is very bad, then we will need some extra magazines also. That will be electron. That will be electron. And here we will follow oil rig. Oxidation is loss of electrons. If somebody is losing electrons, reduction is gain of electrons. ये दो से you will master everything.
So what is the definition of oxidation state?
Oxidation state is the nominal charge that appears on an atom when you consider the atom as a part of a neutral molecule. H2SO4 is a neutral molecule. In that molecule, what was the nominal charge on sulfur? +6. SO2 is a neutral molecule. What is the nominal charge of sulfur? +4. Carbon dioxide is a neutral molecule. What is the nominal charge on carbon? +4. Doesn't mean carbon had carbon plus, but in that relation, it must be bearing at +4. Say you are married and your wife and you have a lot of jhagda jhati. But somehow, whenever you are walking outside and you are walking outside, then also you don't want others to hear it. So what will be the nominal charge you will take on your mouth? You will remain quiet. दोनों एक साथ लड़ोगे तो तीसरा आदमी तो सुनेगा ही ना. तो जब बोल रही है आप चुप रहोगे, चुप रहो. ठीक है. That way it will, yeah.
So can you explain oxidation state once more?
Oxidation state is simple. Consider any molecule. In that molecule, consider all the elements and see what is the nominal charge of an element in that molecule so that the molecule overall has a charge of 0. Let's come here. KMNO4. Overall KMNO4 is stable or not? Yes, it's stable. So KMNO4 carries 0 charge. Let us now identify what is the nominal charge. Potassium comes from family 1, so it is +1. Manganese, you all are very chota bachchas, you all don't know, but you know oxygen. Now you put the chapter of linear equation, P+1, this you don't know, plus x minus 8 equal to 0. So how much is x equal to? +7. So you get to know that manganese's nominal charge is plus 7. That's the oxidation state of manganese. Did you understand? Sulfur dioxide. I don't know what is sulfur, X. But I know there are two oxygens with a -2. Overall should be 0. So X minus 4 is 0. X equal to plus 4. Shreya, wanted to say something?
You explain the increment.
Increase means that I'll explain. That I'll explain. Don't worry. You had 2 rupees. By evening you are having 4 rupees. Has your bank balance increased? Yes. And you right now at evening when we had a survey on you, we found you are penniless. So has your bank balance decreased? Decreased. So it will be an algebraic. Remember algebra. This is not like magnification. Here the plus is associated with the value. Chale? Right? So this lab we will remember. And it is very easy. If your oxidation state increases, you are oxidized. If your oxidation state reduces, you are reduced. But remember, in the same reaction, the ghost and the god both exist. Right? And in terms of electrons, we will see all the reactions. If you lose electrons, oil, oxidation is loss of electrons. Rig, oxygen. चले अभी examples करेंगे अपने आप clear होता जाएगा. So we will go by oxidation state only. ठीक है? Bible खोल के बैठा है. We'll take your examples. So first I'll take one easy example. Example. Carbon burns in oxygen to give you carbon dioxide. Right? Now let us go by your book process. Addition of oxygen. Carbon got oxygen added to it, so carbon is oxidized. No, but here there is no removal or something. It becomes tough to understand. But now we will AK-47 will cork. Carbon is alone out here. So carbon is carrying a nominal charge of 0. Right? Oxygen is alone out here. Overall it is alone. See, oxygen is -2, we know. When you're pairing with somebody, but there are 2 oxygens. So what is the oxygen state of oxygen? 0. Alone means 0. Now you're paired. Now let's see. Carbon is +4. Oxygen is -2. Did you understand this one?
Yeah.
Now look at carbon.
Isn't it minus?
Sorry. Oxygen is -2. Each oxygen. ये 2 से कुछ नहीं जाता है. Each oxygen. I told you, nominal charge on an atom as appearing in a neutral molecule. Now just bear with me and listen what I'm saying. My 0 tha, I was 0. I became +4. Carbon. Oxidation state. This is before the reaction. This is after the reaction. Let's see the oxidation state. I was 0. I became +4. Is it an increase or decrease? I was 0. I became -2. Finished. No second thoughts.
Sir,
Yes.
I didn't understand how carbon will be 0 and oxygen will be 0.
They are alone. Neutral molecule. I am coming neutral right now. I am the only atom. How can I have a charge? Then I am an ion. This is the beauty of oxidation state. मैं अकेला खड़ा हूं. I am alone. I can't have any charge. I am stable, no? Bang on. We'll not talk reducing agent and oxidizing agent now. First, let's get this clear. Are we fine? चले? एक और. One more. Our favorite. I told you, remember all single displacements. Now look at the beauty. New sort of oxygen and all. ये तो बड़ा अच्छा था कि I had brought oxygens. Here, you don't see oxygen separately. That methodology of oxygen hydrogen will face a lot of trouble here. Hydrogen is not even seen. So let's go by AK-47. Forget. Zinc is alone. 0. Sulfate is -2, so copper is +2. Copper is alone, 0. Sulfate -2, zinc is +2. 0 became +2. That means this is oxidation. And +2 became 0. Reduction. Kitna time laga? 6 seconds. Now, do you buy this technique or not?
Yes.
In higher classes, we will say zinc got oxidized while copper got reduced. Sir, what happened to sulfate? Sulfate was watching tamasha. So sulfate is known as spectator ion because its oxidation state did not undergo any change at all. It was -2, it still is -2 because it was the girlfriend who was kidnapped. Yes or no? Mother chemistry. Spectator ion. Don't write girlfriend, you'll get a 0. Spectator ion. But in grade 10, we will say carbon got oxidized to carbon dioxide and oxygen formed carbon dioxide got reduced. We will still not talk about reducing agent. That is very easy. First learn this. You didn't understand this example. Do you understand oxidation state? Because you have to identify by oxidation states. So let's start finding. This is a neutral atom. Its oxidation state is 0. All of you can ask me. Please do not dabao in your tummy. Copper sulfate. Sulfate's oxidation state is always -2. So copper will be +2. Copper is alone. So copper is 0. And zinc is? Understood? Let's see this. Yes. C plus O2. Okay. C was 0. And in CO2, C is coming with +4. 0 became +4 is an increase in oxidation state. Oxidized straight away. And 0 became -2 is a reduction in oxidation state. Reduction straight away. No second thoughts. ठीक है? थोड़ा मैटर को कॉम्प्लिकेट करे ना, मजा आता है ना, इतना इजी होने से कैसे आएगा. So let's go back to our reaction again. Zinc reacts with copper sulfate. I now remember my sir. Zinc sulfate and copper. Now see how my sir used to teach this oxidation reduction. Now we'll go by electron system. You remember I had shown you the ionic reaction. This thing is composed of two ions, Zn2 plus and SO4 minus. Be prepared to study this, whether it is in your syllabus or not. This is Cu2 plus SO4 minus. So let's look at the reaction. You were zinc, you became zinc ion or zinc cation. Zinc can become zinc 2 plus only if it ledger 2 electrons. Zinc is losing electrons. Loss of electrons. Oxidation. We also studied that zinc got oxidized. Yes or no? Look at copper. Copper was Cu2 plus. And now copper is what? Copper is 0. This can happen only when, goddamn, it takes 2 electrons. And these are the same 2 electrons which have come here. Gain. Rig. So this is reduction. If your oxidation state fails you, you can try by electron also. But at your level, there cannot be any reaction which will fail in oxidation state. Is this understood? Yes. Okay. Do you understand oil and rig? Tell me that first. Oxidation is loss of electrons. Now, if you look at this reaction, let me change my colors. Okay. Copper sulfate is Cu2 plus, SO4 minus. Zinc sulfate is Zn2 plus and SO4 minus. Do you agree? So if we go by oxidation state also, 0 became 2 plus, straight away oxidation. But we will go by electron concept. Tell me, Shreya, how did zinc become zinc 2 plus? 2 positive charge increased. That means either it has eaten 2 protons, but mother nucleus says protons I will never give to anyone. The only way it can happen is lose 2 electrons. Loss.
Minus.
This is same. We don't write minus in chemical reaction. The shopkeeper gaining money is same as me losing money. Yes, my dear. Just see, Zn2 plus 2 is Zn, right? Minus nahi dikhate beta. Everyone is a good boy. Have you seen your progress report? Let's write now. Ved is an excellent boy. Ved does it. Show me one progress report which writes Shreya does not listen to teachers in school. She is always talkative in class. Does it? Have they ever written like that? No. But if you take the 8th report card, you will find same. Sometimes I have seen he remaining as he for a girl also. Teacher forgot to make it she. Okay? So look at copper. Copper was 2 plus. Copper became 0. How can this happen? So my teacher used to tell me, now my Malayali sir, ये जिसके सर पे ऐसा कलंक दिखता है ना, ये सब ऑक्सीडाइज्ड है, और जो ऐसा साफ सुथरा दिखता है वो सब reduced है. Now his explanation of this reaction, he's a Malayali but he used to speak Hindi. Listen how he says, ये सिंक ये कलंकित हो गया ऐसा करके, ठीक है ना. और क्या बोलते हैं, इसके साथ कोई शादी नहीं करता. बोला कलंकित के साथ एक और कलंकित को ले आओ, मैं शादी करता. और कॉपर को बोला तेरे को जिंदगी का मुक्ति दे दिया. आई स्टिल रिमेंबर द वे ही टॉट मी. और कॉपर देखो अच्छा बच्चा बन के जा रहा है. रिड्यूस्ड मीन्स ऑल सिंस गॉन. ऑक्सीडाइज्ड मीन्स ये जो तुम वीडियो गेम खेलते हो, you all are all getting oxidized. Reduced means listen to what I say, parents say, then you will have reduction in your life. Everything will calm down. Moksha, sadhana. Do you want money? No. Peace, tranquility, reduction. Oxidation, jewelry, iPhone, moh, maya, all oxidation. ठीक है, चलें अब कुछ एग्जांपल्स करते हैं. Right? So let me take the textbook and we will go by oxidation states से सब हो जाएगा. Although I taught you about reduction, let's see. मजा आएगी नहीं बोलो? ठीक है? So let's see by yo. Okay. Now one more thing we need to learn. Although we have learned that matrix, now see. Now again by my chemistry sir. Good boy, and in the reaction there will be a bad boy. A is a good boy, B is a bad boy. After the reaction, we will again have good boy and bad boy. This is the best way to understand. Now, B is a good boy, A is a bad boy. Okay? Who became a bad boy? Who became a bad boy? Who made him a bad boy?
B.
B. Are you understanding? Who was a good boy? A. A became a bad boy. Who made A a bad boy? B. B was a bad boy. Who made B a good boy? A. Now wait 1 minute. Who got oxidized? Is it? No. Yeah. A was a good boy. A. Okay. Wait, let me change this so otherwise you'll get confused. 1 minute, huh? Okay, this is. Okay, this is oxidation. Okay, let's say A reacted with B and A got oxidized. Who oxidized A?
B.
B. But in this reaction, B has to undergo reduction. A got oxidized. Who oxidized A? B. So B will be known as oxidizing agent. The fellow who gets reduced is the oxidizing agent, and the fellow who gets oxidized will be the reducing agent. Now look, who got reduced? B. Who reduced B? A. So A will be known as the reducing agent. As simple, you need not break your head. First identify oxidation and reduction, and then swap the roles. If I became a bad boy, somebody must have become a good boy. I was the person responsible to make him good boy. So I am the good boy creator. In that process, I became a bad boy. And he made me a bad boy. So he's the bad boy creator. But in the process, he has become good boy. इतना कुछ मुश्किल नहीं है. Just first identify oxidation and reduction and swap the roles. क्या आतरे इतना yawning क्यों होता है? सोता नहीं है क्या घर में? Half day school is going on. What do you do afternoon? तो फिर नींद क्यों आता है? तो फिर नींद क्यों आता है? मैं तो नहीं सोता हूं. मुझे कहाँ नींद आता है? कमजोर हो इसका मतलब. खाना नहीं खाते हो. विटामिन चेक करो अपना. चलो. So let's see some easy example. CuO plus H2 gives us Cu plus H2O. We will use our technique, okay? Understood? Don't see addition of hydrogen and all. CuO. What is the oxidation state of oxygen? -2. Copper should be +2. Hydrogen here will be 0 because it is alone. Copper here is alone. Oxygen is -2, so hydrogen is +1, and you have got 2. Do not count this one and write the charge. Always take the atom. Is the match clear to you? From 0 it became +1. Is it any? So this is an oxidation case. +2 became 0. Reduction. Now I will write. H2 got oxidized to form H2O. CuO got reduced to form Cu. H2 got oxidized, so H2 will be reducing agent, and later in you'll always study hydrogen is a reducing agent. CuO got reduced, so CuO must be the oxidizing agent. Always remember one. This is R, so this is O agent. This is O, so this is R agent. Khatam. थोड़ा interesting reaction ले. Interesting. Super interesting. Super. What is that iodine wala reaction? Yes, I got it. Let's see one interesting one. Ananya is still debating class notes versus Jadid Das notes. How can I defeat? Let's take one interesting one. This will actually make everything clear. H2S, hydrogen sulfide, as a gas which has smell like rotten eggs. Who has smelled rotten eggs? That he could. Raghav, समझ में आ रहा है तो? That he could. Hydrogen sulfide, you know, is very pathetic. If hydrogen sulfide is generated in the lab, the whole school will smell. Yeah, that apparatus' name is known as Kip's apparatus, and that day the whole school will smell when they do this experiment in grade 11, 12. So H2S reacts with iodine, all right, and then forms 2Hi and S. Okay? Which one? You are a vegetarian. How do you know what is rotten eggs? So how do you know rotten eggs? You are a vegetarian after all. How can you smell rotten eggs? You are a vegetarian. No, that's for your dog. He cooks for whom? Girlfriend. Then he's a Tamil Brahmin. How can he have rotten egg?
Insects, blood.
So how do you know? That all I understand. You must have taken cow dung, but how do you know it is like rotten egg? चल इसमें ध्यान दे. So look at here. Now sulfur we don't know. Hydrogen is +1. So sulfur should be -2. Iodine, laddu. Yes.
You want high growth.
Tell me. I love that. That is the joy of discovery. You got your answer? I like it, Anurag. I'm not angry. This is good. You got the answer, right? You don't count this. Okay, next. Sulfur is alone. So, laddu. Hydrogen is always +1. So, iodine is anyway from the halogen family, -1. Is the story clear, children? Now look, who got oxidized? Sulfur from -2 became 0. Very interesting. This is the number line. This is 0. This is -2. So this is an increase in oxidation state. Sulfur has got oxidized. अरे हाइड्रोजन में कुछ नहीं हुआ, तमाशा देख रहा है, +1 हाइड्रोजन में कुछ नहीं हुआ. Are you seeing? मजेदार thing. Now look at iodine. Iodine from 0 came to -1. Iodine was at 0. Iodine came to -1. So who got reduced? Iodine. Who got oxidized? Sulfur. But in grade 10 you will write it as H2S. This is your oxidation and this is your reduction. Tell me who is the reducing agent? H2S. जिसके पास हाइड्रोजन वो reducing agent है. Reduce. Right? So many times children think, now this deviates my sir's concept. Whenever something is 0 and has nothing, I used to say that you are reduced. But no, here you are oxidized and you became 0. Because this was in -2. So far, if you see all the reactions, see, kabhi bhi na, aise yaad mat karo. See these reactions. Whoever was 0, he actually got reduced. But in this reaction, the 0 fellow, where it's gone? There. The 0 fellow has actually turned 0 by oxidation. Clear? Ananya, still doubt? Shall we take one more?
Yes.
Okay, one more. Some dangerous reaction I'm searching. Acha. Let's take, but that double displacement reaction, just give me the example. Barium chloride reacts with sodium sulfate, forms barium sulfate plus sodium chloride. अब इसमें मजेदार चीज दिखने को मिला भाई साहब. Interesting observation you will find. Let's see. Come. Let's start. Chlorine is -1, so barium must be +2. Agreed? Sulfate is -2, sodium is +1. Agreed? Sulfate is -2, barium is +2. Chlorine is -1, sodium. Just see this reaction. We generally say every reaction is a redox reaction except double displacements. Double displacements are not redox reaction. I was +2, I am still +2. I was -1, I am -1. I was +1, I am +1. I am -2, I am -2. Double displacement reactions are not redox reactions. However, every single displacement reaction is a redox reaction. Let us see one example. Zinc reacts with hydrochloric acid, forms zinc chloride and releases hydrogen gas. Right? Zinc means 0. Chlorine -1, hydrogen +1. Chlorine -1, zinc +2, hydrogen 0. 0 to +2. Oxidation, -1, +1 to 0, reduction. Here chloride is the spectator ion. Every single displacement reaction is a redox reaction. The only reactions which are not redox reactions are what? Double displacement reactions. So if your hunger is still there, let us take one more stylish reaction.
Sir,
Yes.
can I drink water?
Yes, please drink water, but from your own house. Don't go to neighbor's house. Right? Yeah. Oh, the bottles are there. I have forgotten. Oh, yeah, you can go, but I don't know they are filled or not. The dispenser is there, but it is dispensing cold water. So drink cold water. I need chilled water, but that is at your risk. Tomorrow, if you do and say, Jaideep sir fed him cold water. I only give love and happiness. Okay, one dangerous reaction. Ready? Dangerous reaction. Manute. Manganese dioxide reacts with 4-Huckel. 4-Huckel gives you manaklu. Then clue. Then hatuo. Ready, children? Have you written it? Now, in this reaction, if you try your NCERT technique of addition of oxygen and removal of hydrogen and all, you will be just scratching your head like this. So let's put our AK-47. Ready? Gauli ready? Striker ready? -2. So this is +4. -1 +1. -2, then +2. No, -1. -1 +2. 0. This one is -2 +1. We just look at the atom. अब आराम से देखो हाइड्रोजन पे नजर ही मत रहा. हाइड्रोजन is +1 he's just watching. मजेदार spectator iron. Look at manganese. +4 to +2. Reduction. See, Madam Ananya, how easy it is. Now hunt the oxidation. Chlorine. Negative. Look at see. -1, -1. In this there is no state.